Akshi Upanishad presented by Svayam Prakash Sharma. We begin the Upanishad with an invocation. Om, O God Almighty, protect both me and my teacher. Protect us both together. Nourish us both together. May we both work together in cooperation with great energy. May our study always be vigorous and effective. May we never quarrel with each other. May we never hate each other. Om Shanti 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 Om. The Akshi Upanishad is part of the Krishna Yajur Veda, where the sun god imparts the knowledge of Brahm to Samkriti. In the Muktika list of 108 Upanishads to be studied for salvation, this Upanishad figures at serial number 72 of that list. Source material for this upload has been taken from the English translation of the Upanishad by Dr. G Krishna Warrier as published by the Theosophical Publishing House, Chennai. The Upanishad. The blessed Samkriti went to the world of the sun. He bowed down to the sun and glorified him by means of the following mantras of the science of the wise. Om, I salute the blessed Lord, the glorious sun. Om, I salute the one who is the power of the eye. Om, I salute the wanderer in the sky. Om, I salute the one who is the commander of the army of light. Om, I salute the one who is energy. Om, I salute the one who is light. O Lord, lead me from the unreal to the real. Lead me from darkness to light, and lead me from death to immortality. The Blessed One, who is of the essence of purity, he scorches all the sins of the sinful. The Blessed Swan, the Atma, who is the essence of purity, he is the prototype, he is the original of the bound soul of the Jeev. Here, the sun of 1,000 rays rises. It exists in many and different ways, and it is the life of all animate beings. I meditate on the one God who is omniform, who is of all forms, who is compassionate, who is all-knowing, who is ambrosial, nectar, who is the essence of light, who is the scorcher, who burns. Om, I salute the blessed sun, who is the offspring of the infinite, who is the power of the eye, who is the flood of days, who indeed is the flood. All hail. Glorified in this way, by means of the science of the wise, the Lord, who was in the form of the sun, was highly pleased. He said, whichever seeker of Brahm studies this science of the wise without any break whatsoever, he will never contact any eye disease. In his family, no one will ever be born blind. By teaching this knowledge to 8 seekers or knowers of Brahm, one becomes perfect in this science. Then Samkriti requested the sun, Blessed One, please teach me Brahma Vidya. Please teach me the knowledge of Brahm. In reply, the sun god said, listen carefully, Samkriti. I will tell you the knowledge of reality, the knowledge that is so hard to come by which knowledge alone you will become liberated while still living in your human body. Remember that the Almighty All is one. He is unborn. He is tranquil. He is endless. He is certain. He is immutable. Learn to see reality as the spirit, as the Atma Samkriti, and be tranquil and at ease. the thoroughly proficient and well-skilled people, they know yoga to be the non-knowing of plurality. They know for certain that there is no plurality whatsoever in existence. They know yoga to be the spontaneous attrition, the spontaneous destruction of the object-seeking mind. They know that yoga spontaneously destroys the object-seeking mind, the object-seeking mind. Therefore, always remain rooted in yoga. And either you perform all your actions or be averse to performing actions. That is, do not perform any actions at all. In the normal course, a person feels aversion to act every day due to the inborn tendencies. But in spite of this aversion, one tends to plunge wholeheartedly into noble actions with gusto. Instinctively, one always hesitates to do the actions, hesitates to the actions of the obstinately wrong or bad ones. One tries never to refer to such actions that might compromise or hurt others, but instead one focuses on their righteous and good deeds. One should always do just and noble deeds that pain or harm no one. Always do gentle deeds. Always dread and avoid sin, and also avoid all forms of self-gratification. Such a person's speech is always informed by affection and love. His speech is always full of affection and love. His speech is always lovely, and it is always fit for the occasion, with due regard to the time and place. One should wait upon the virtuous with proper thought, act, and speed. One should study the scriptures, the Shastras, getting them from all conceivable sources. Then one attains the first stage of yoga. Whosoever attains such thoughts as regards the crossing of transmigratory life is said to have a state of yoga. The rest are said to be just noble or arya. Coming to the next stage of yoga, which is the analysis of vichar, the practitioner sadhak resorts to the foremost scholars who are well known for their serious interpretation of the Shruti and the Smriti, who are known for their good conduct, who are known for their fixed attention, who are known for their contemplation and for their activities. He goes to such people for help and guidance. Just as a householder knows his homestead, having mastered all that has to be learnt about it, in the same way, the sadhak comes to know the categories and the doctrines with regard to what has to be done, and also with regards to what has to be avoided, what has not to be done. And just as a snake sheds off its old skin, in the same way one should shed even a slight attachment to external objects. When the attachment is intensified by pride, conceit, intolerance, greed, and delusion, with a mind that has been disciplined through devotion to the scriptures, that has been disciplined through devotion to the teacher, and through devotion to the company of virtuous people, he truthfully masters the entire body of knowledge, including all the secret doctrines. And just as a lover goes to a spotless bed of flowers, in the same way the sadhak from the second stage of yoga goes to the third state of yoga, that is called non-attachment. He fixes his steady mind on the true meaning of the scriptures and becomes busy with the recitation of spiritual texts that are appropriate to the hermitage of ascetics, and he spends his long life seated on a bed of stone or on a slab, diverting himself with the sounds in the forest that have been made beautiful by his placid mind. As a result of his meritorious actions, the righteous sadhak passes his time in the delights of detachment, repeatedly studying the positive scriptures. One's perception of reality becomes clear only in due course. The enlightened one, reaching the third state, experiences this for himself. Non-attachment is of two kinds. Listen to the distinction as I explain it to you. One is general non-attachment, the other is superior non-attachment. The general non-attachment is non-involvement in objects based on perception. This is premised on the following. It is premised on the knowledge that I am neither the agent nor am I the enjoyer. I am neither the denier nor am I the denied. Everything, whether it is pleasure or pain, it is all fashioned by our prior deeds, maybe of our present life or of all our past lives, or that everything is under the sway of the Lord. I do nothing in regard to it. Enjoyments and non-enjoyments, both are dread diseases to be avoided, and possessions, or all that we own, are great disasters. All contacts only promote separation. Sufferings are the diseases of our own thoughts. Time is ceaselessly fashioning all things. This is the attitude of the sadhak of general detachment, who has grasped the meaning of the major texts. It consists of being averse to all things and not dwelling on them in the mind. By going through the sequence of stages, the superior non-attachment, in the case of the magnanimous sadhaks, occurs as an intervention between states. This non-attachment is said to be silence. It is repose and rest, and it is total motionlessness. For in this case, both speech and meaning have been flung away in the light of the realization of the truth that I am no agent. The agent is God, or the agent is my prior actions. The first stage that occurs is sweet on account of the satisfaction and the joy that go along with it. The sadhak, by entering the first stage, has just stepped into the sequence of states. He has begun his journey. The first stage is an ambrosial sprout. It is nectar sprouting. The first stage is the interval. The first stage is the internal. It is the cleansed, the cleaned up. It is the birthplace of all the other stages. It is from this first stage that one attains the second, the third, and all the subsequent states. Among the first three states, the all-pervading third stage is superior. Here in this stage, the sadhak has outgrown. He has overcome all proneness to imagine and to get ensnared, to get trapped. Those who reach the fourth stage after the dwindling of the darkness of ignorance through the exercises of the three stages, they look at all things with the same eye. They look at all things as equal and the same. When non-duality is firmly established and duality completely dissolved, then those who have reached the fourth stage, they look upon the phenomenal world, the world of phenomena and happening, as only a dream. The first three states are said to be the waking state. The fourth state is called the dream state. And here the mind begins to dissolve like the fragments of a cloud in autumn. The person who reaches the fifth state, he survives, but only as a bare being. The mind dissolves, and due to the dissolution of the mind in this stage, the world in its manifold form, the world in its manifold, in its various forms, does not present itself at all. The world in its manifold form does not appear before him. When the sadhak reaches the fifth stage, called deep sleep, he remains as a pure, non-dual being, where all particulars that define him have completely vanished. Having reached the fifth state, the sadhak stays consolidated in deep sleep, where he is joyful, he is inwardly awake, and where all dual appearances have gone. Looking inwards, even when attending to outer things, the sadhak always appears indrawn and is extremely exhausted by the effort. Practicing in this fifth state, free from all innate impulses, the sadhak, as a matter of course, reaches the sixth stage, which is named the fourth. In this, the fourth stage, there is neither the non-existent or the existent. There is neither the I nor the non-I. Here, with all analytic thinking gone, one stays alone, totally fearless in non-duality. Here in this stage, he is beyond knots. All his doubts have been vanquished. He is liberated in life. He is devoid of imagination. Though unextinguished, yet he is extinguished. He is like a painted flame. Having dwelt in the sixth stage, the sadhak shall reach the seventh stage, the state of disembodied liberation is called the seventh state of yoga. This is the acme. This is the highest point of all stages. It is beyond words. It is totally emotionless. Avoid conformity with the ways of the world and with the ways of the body. Avoid conformity with the scriptures, with the shastras, and get rid of all the superimpositions on the self, on the Atma. Get rid of all that is superimposed on the Atma. All that is here, the Vishwa, the Tejas, the Pragya, etc. All that is nothing but Om. Because there is no difference whatsoever between the meaning and the expression. And because, as distinct from each other, neither of these two is known. The Vishwa is just the letter A of Om, and the letter U of Om is said to be Tejas. The Pragya, the Prag is the letter M of Om. Know this in this order, discriminating with great effort before final concentration or before final samadhi sets in. The concrete and the subtle should all be dissolved in the spiritual self. And the spiritual self should be dissolved, perceiving, I am the Om Vasudev, ever pure, awake, free, existent, non-dual, masked, and supreme bliss. Because all this objective world is nothing but pain in the beginning, pain in the middle, and pain in the end. Therefore, you sinless one, renounce everything and be devoted to the truth. Think, I am Brahm, solid intelligence and bliss. I am free from impurity. I am holy. I am lifted above mind and words. I am beyond the darkness of ignorance. I am beyond all appearance. This is the secret doctrine. Yes, this is the secret doctrine. This concludes the Akshi Upanishad of the Krishna Yajur. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.